So isn't the timer bigger now?
It is bigger. Because I remember when we were at the underground, it wasn't that big at the underground.
That's what she said.
Said the nun to the bishop. How you doing?
I'm good, dude. It feels like it's been a while since we recorded, so it feels like there is like so much news, so many things happening in comic book.
There is, and the problem is I had like a whole plethora of notes to go through, and some of the stuff now in my mind I'm going that the window has kind of passed, so I'll move on and focus on other things, especially on like what I've watched, that sort of realm of things. So yeah, it is what it is. Que sera, sera.
Yeah, I mean, where do you want to start, dude? I mean, Lucifer got released last night.
Yes, it did. Season 6. You started watching some of it. And have we spoken about the ending to 5? Maybe we should... Spoiler alert! Spoilers!
I can't remember. I don't know. I'm scared we repeat ourselves, but...
Because I know in casual chatting, you and I were both, like, whelmed with the ending of Lucifer. It didn't blow us away. It wasn't like mind-boggling blow, like oh, totally didn't see that coming. And I remember you had particularly referenced this almost like, and maybe it's a terrible reference, but this gathering up of the Lucifer forces and army that was going to fight the Michael forces and army. Like Eve and Amidian, all of them get this like little demon army together to fight Michael's little army. And like you said, it's we couldn't help but liken it to something like Captain America's Civil War, where you had these two heavy opposing forces, and it's just the battle was...
And also I remember now, like I felt Eve was just forced into the storyline as a love interest, like out of nowhere. I was like, what? And you'll see, like, I don't want to give too much away for you, but because at the end of the season now, he's essentially kind of God. And now the whole, I think Kira watched more than I did, but like 3 episodes, it's like he's kind of trying to avoid it. He doesn't want to, because he like likes it on Earth too much, and he likes the life that they have.
Okay.
And
so he's just trying to go back to the way things were, because there was definitely a moment of that in season 5 where, he had just come back and he wanted to try and things the way they were between Chloe and I, and and that's the only thing I like. Even Kira's like, can they get to the point now already? So like, Okay.
But again, we'll watch the rest of it and give it a chance.
Of course. And I get the sense that this is possibly the last season.
I think so, yeah.
So I really hope it ends nicely, well, on a high. In my mind, some of the self-sacrificing things that happened in season 5 would have been okay to sort of end it on, like a Lucifer character coming full circle, so to speak. But
the only problem I have, and I'm hoping, like, again, I don't want to build too much expectation, but I hope that they complete the arc of why Chloe was selected, why she is this thing for Lucifer. Like, if they've been playing that thread the whole long, and I hope it's not just like, well, just because for his growth. Like, I'm gonna be like, I want there to be some major, like, what, like,
got you, massive penny drop kind of thing that just everything kind of comes full circle and ties in, and of course
that would be cool.
Would be. I don't know. The other things that's in the news is Action Comics #1 is no longer the most expensive comic on record as far as auctions, purchases, etc. go.
$3.6 million. Amazing Fantasy. Like, dude, I made a joke I actually saw Gav, our buddy, the other day.
And sorry, for those that don't know, Amazing Fantasy 15 is the first appearance of Spider-Man.
But and I was saying to Gav, like, even if we won the South African lottery, it's like 50 million, you still can't buy that comic. Like, it's like, what? People have too much money, man. Like,
100%. You'd proper have to win one of those mega jackpot, 120 something million to
Dollars.
even conceive of buying a comic like that.
No, it's disgusting, dude.
Yeah, I mean, look, Action Comics #1, first appearance of Superman, that was last recorded at $3.3 million that it went on auction for. So Amazing Fantasy clocking in at 3.6 is
It's a big deal,
going.
yeah.
And the thing that amazes me about that is Amazing Fantasy is 20 to almost 30 years later than Action Comics. So from what I could see, it was a very high grade.
Yeah,
Amazing
9.6.
Fantasy, which counts in its favor. And it was probably just a hardcore Spidey fan who just said, I'm taking this.
Yeah.
So
I thought of that, either it's a big fan or someone that knows how young the Tom Holland era is, and he thinks it's just going to keep going up and up and up.
Sure.
Which, I mean, it'll go up by inflation at least. It'll hold its value, but I don't know if there's any more big jumps left after $3.6 million.
Not for... Again, not for, from in my personal opinion, not for a comic like that came out in the 60s. You know, I look at a Detective 27 or an Action Comics #1.
Yeah.
Those things came out in the 1930s.
That's insane.
I mean,
1938, I think, was Detective.
Yeah, and those
32 was Action Comics 1, I think.
So, dude, those things survived World War II. You know, just to put it in context there, it survived World War II and Vietnam and the Korea Wars. Yeah, those things have been in people's basements and or boxes, drawers, whatever, for 75 going on 80 years. I mean, that's history. That's legacy. And not to take anything away from Amazing Fantasy, but just the 20-something odd years jump that those other two have on it, for me, just puts them in a slightly different category.
Yeah, definitely agree.
So I just think it's a matter of time before those jump again. Someone will probably
I was right. I was actually, you stole the words out of my mouth.
Someone will come in and 4 million, 5 million, whatever for those two. And, you know, a big Batsy fan or someone will just say, oh, yes, I'll part with a couple extra million for those things.
Yeah. I'm changing the topic, but another big on everyone's thing is Matrix.
Ah, yes. It's on everyone's thing, is it?
But yeah,
better rub that off your thing, big boy.
It looks cool, but a lot of people are fighting and are so angry because the original Morpheus isn't in the trailer.
Yeah.
But I was watching another dude's video, which is quite interesting, and he has an interesting concept because it's called Resurrections. They think it's the whole, you know, there's a concept that life, reincarnates itself and Neo isn't awake, and they need to reawake him. So like everyone's kind of reborn. So it's all the younger versions, because there's even a lady in there that looks exactly like what's the fortune teller lady? Oracle.
Oracle.
She had the same gloss on, but she's way younger. There's clearly a Morpheus-looking guy that's way younger. So,
because what I've picked up and gathered from trailer and or other things is that at the end of the third one, you don't really know what happens to Neo. Does he die or does he survive in some way? And my theory is that he kind of got overloaded in doing what he did, and a machine came across, found the body, and they reinserted him into the Matrix as well as Trinity.
And that's why they blue pilling like crazy.
Correct, to try and suppress the Neo-ness in him. And I think that's what this is going to be about, is him rediscovering that he's Neo, and that stuff hasn't really ended, and it's just kind of evolved or restarted in a Matrix 2.0 or whatever the case could possibly be.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people saying the action scenes in the trailer look similar to previous movies and stuff, but my favorite shot, it's going to be a bit of a weird one, but I don't know if you remember, he's in an elevator and everyone's on their phones except for him, and he looks up. It's just such a cool modern day commentary on, like,
people immersed in this false world and the one person who's disconnected.
Yeah.
If you like. No, you're absolutely right.
So that's cool.
Yeah, very cool visual that there. So I agree. I'm excited. I, for one, wasn't entirely thrilled with how the whole Matrix trilogy ended, etc.
I need to rewatch it, man. It's been long.
Same here. I think I also need to give that a rewatch before this one. But I do remember, I don't know, just something about it I wasn't 100% thrilled about. And maybe that's just off the fact that the first one totally blew me away.
Yeah.
I mean, I think everybody out there would agree.
Way ahead of its time, yeah.
100%. And maybe that's what second and third movie suffered from is no matter how big we try to make this, no matter where we try to go with it, it doesn't have that initial punch that the first one had on its limited budgets and creative special effects. I mean, that was the first time they did those panoramic photo shots and everything. So I don't know, but I am interested to just give it a watch and see where it takes us.
Nice.
So, if you liked what Mark and I were talking about here, or just like our content in general,
please like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification for more videos.
And do us a favor and find us on the social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram.
See you in the next video.